Hi everyone, it's Stephanie and welcome back to my channel. So, I wasn't going to make videos for a while because it didn't really feel right, but I have a platform. It's a very small platform, but it's a platform, and so I can't not say something and post. So even though I know booktube is an escape for a lot of people, including myself, that's one of my go-to escape activities, you can't ignore what's going on right now with the horribly disgusting murder of George Floyd and the protests that are going on and the police brutality that's going on. And I just want to say this is such a good opportunity for all of us to be there for our Black friends, be an ally, use your privilege as a way to help and to listen and not talk over the Black voices in our community, and also to educate ourselves. And when I say you, myself, I'm for sure included. I'm holding myself accountable, and I want to be supportive and not a hindrance. So I just want to say that's my viewpoint. If you don't agree, I'm not sorry. I don't understand how you can see the video and the things that are going on and not be on the side of Black Lives Matter. I don't understand as a human being how you can't understand that the things that are going on have been going on. They're just being filmed more frequently now, and it needs to change. We need to support those in our community, those in our lives, those in our districts, and just be there for them. And as an educator, I think one of the most important steps we can take is to educate ourselves. It is not the job of our non-white friends to educate us on what's racist or not racist, or how to be an ally or not be an ally. That's something that we need to learn ourselves. I am an advocate for educating yourself no matter what, but especially for this. Watching everything that's been going on for I don't know how many days now, I just keep thinking about the people in my life and how that affects them, and it just breaks my heart, and I'm angry for them, and I'm upset for them, and I'm upset at the injustice. And I'm not going to pretend that I understand what they're going through, because I don't at all. I have privilege because of my skin color, but I have to acknowledge that they're hurting. There needs to be a change. And this is such an important step in bringing about change, is educating yourself. And so what I'm going to do is link websites below where I've donated or where you can sign petitions. And there are a lot of things we can do even if you can't be in the protest, because I know for a lot of people it's not possible, like if you're immunocompromised, but we can spend the time to sign the petitions, to spread the word, read books and history, and educate ourselves, and just really help in whatever way we can. So the first thing I want to talk about is this really, really awesome buddy read that Shay from Books with Shay is doing, and it's called the Blackout Buddy Read. Shay is an educator and a content creator. She's phenomenal, and she's such a wonderful light in the community. I followed her. I think she's had like 100 subscribers. I've watched her channel grow, and she's such an awesome person. So I'm really excited to participate in this. So the Twitter is at Blackout Read, and I will obviously link everything down below. But it's from June 5th to June 19th, and the live show will be on June 19th, which is also known as Juneteenth, which is the day that was the emancipation of the last slaves. So there's a lot of significance in that date. And in this buddy read, we'll be reading 2 books, White Fragility by Robin DiAngelo, which is a white author, and White Rage by Carol Anderson, who is a black author. And this is a way that Shay has come up with a buddy read where we can see the white perspective and the black perspective and learn how to be allies and learn about the black experience, and then have discussions about how we as white people can be better allies and how we can all communicate effectively to help bring about change. So I'm really, really excited about that. Shay also has a website called www.blackoutbuddyread.com, where she's selling shirts, and all of the proceeds, I think it's $10 per shirt, goes to the Minnesota Freedom Fund, which helps to bail out people who have been arrested during these protests. Hello, Future Stephanie here. I wanted to mention 2 documentaries that I feel are so important, because I know we've been talking about incorporating more black literature and black authors into our reading, but we also can't forget the contributions of all the black artists and musicians, and how we wouldn't have a lot of the music we have today if not for their predecessors and for them paving the way for future black artists. So one documentary I want to mention is Quincy on Netflix. It's about Quincy Jones. And before I watched it, I knew who he was, but I didn't realize how influential and how massive Quincy Jones's repertoire is. I mean, he's made thousands of compositions and worked on I don't even know how many movie scores. And it also talks about him growing up in a very poor part of town and what he had to deal with on a daily basis as a black person. And I think it's a really good documentary to watch, because it gives you the perspective with the music as well as the perspective from a personal standpoint of what it was like to be a black person in that time period. And the second documentary is one of my absolute favorites, and it's called The 2 Killings of Sam Cooke. And I grew up listening to Sam Cooke. I adore his music and his soulful sound. I did not know a lot of things about Sam Cooke until I watched this documentary, but it's such a good look at how he rose to fame. And what I didn't realize is he was very outspoken at that time for civil rights, and how far he went to fight for equal rights for blacks and black Americans, which may have led to his death. But it's such a touching, moving documentary, and I think it's really important. It gives you a lot of information about the Black experience in the time that Sam Cooke was alive and producing his music and touring, and talks about what it was like to be a Black person in the South, particularly in states like Alabama. And it really touched me because obviously I don't know what that feels like. I'm not going to pretend that I do, but it just strikes you when you watch it that this is the same injustice and racism that Black people still have to face today. And Sam Cooke was alive 50, 60 years ago, and it's 2020, and we're still having these civil rights issues and these humanity issues, and it's heartbreaking. And the song that I associate most with Sam Cooke is "A Change is going to Come." I highly recommend that you look it up and listen to it, especially if you watch this documentary. It's so incredibly touching, and I just tear up listening to it, because once you watch the documentary, you really understand the meaning behind the lyrics and the song, and it's such a powerful song. And I think it's still applicable today, even though it was written so long ago. I mean, that's the power of music. It defies generations and time, and it's a universal language. So even though I don't know what it was like for him in the South, you can feel what he was feeling when he sang this song. You can feel it in his voice, and I just absolutely adore it. So definitely check those out. They're both on Netflix. They're both phenomenal, and I just cannot recommend them enough. As always, thank you so much for watching, and please stay safe. Remember to take a breath and take a break when you need it. Have a great day, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.